So hello, my name is Taivo. I'm account manager here at Multilogin. And today we have another customer here talking about his experience, what he had with Multilogin, and he will share it with you as well. So first of all, Adam, hello, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us. Maybe
Hey,
you
no
can,
problem. I'm happy to be here.
yeah, maybe you can start by a little bit sharing who you are, where do you come from, and in what type of business you are.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Adam Colbert. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I own an agency called Rocket 31, and we mostly do social media advertising, so Facebook, Google Ads, mostly paid advertising. The main reason that I use Multilogin is to deal with social media account bans. So even if you have a white hat use case, the landscape right now with social media networks is it's very sketchy. You know, Facebook is constantly banning accounts. Um, so there's always a reason to have backup advertising accounts, even if you're just using it for client work. So that's where multi-login has been a game changer. Oh, and I also do e-commerce. So client
Okay.
work and then e-commerce.
Okay. And you came to that conclusion that you can use multi-login for multiple use cases. So while using multi-login, or that was like the goal or the business before you joined multi-login?
No, I was able to do that through multi-login. We were having issues with our accounts being restricted. One time our main business manager got disabled. So we at that point we were like, hey, we're gonna have to do something because we could lose our whole business if, Facebook bans our business manager. So I started researching, I looked at a few different tools. Multi-login was, I believe, the most expensive, just to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of why I went with it, because I figured, okay, it's expensive, it's not cheap. There's no, there's no free tier. It must be very well supported. That was my thought process when I made the decision to use multi-login over some of the other tools that are available.
Mm-hmm. And as I understand, you're the owner or the founder of the company, right?
That's correct.
Like, also, I heard you mentioned we, so I guess there's other people involved in your company as well, like team members, virtual assistants.
Yes, yeah. So I also own another business that's an e-commerce brand, and in that business, I have a partner. So
Okay.
we use multi-login for my team, our client accounts, as well as our e-commerce business, where we have different product brands under that business.
Mm-hmm. And approximately how many people there are in your business?
There's about 12.
12.
So myself, my partner, and some others.
And they all use multi-login.
Not all of them. There's only about 4 of them that use multi-login.
Okay. And how easy it was like to set up the business process with multi-login? Like it was even like complicated. I don't know.
It wasn't complicated. I think as long as there are some settings, that you need to be aware of, but it's if you've used marketing tools before, you can easily use multi-login. It's not difficult, and the support is really solid. So I've had a few issues along the way, nothing major, but the support's always there. The live chat's there. It was actually on live chat last night because my proxies were, instead of resolving to the location, they were resolving globally. And of course, I was like, oh no, multi-login, something must be wrong. But it was actually my fault for whitelisting my IP address. But anyhow, it's very easy to use, in my opinion. I don't think it's easy.
Okay, that's good to hear. And I will certainly give the feedback back to the guys as well. But if we go a little bit back in time, and maybe you can describe your work process before you started with multi-login.
Yeah, so before we started with multi-login, it was just we had a business manager account on Facebook, and if our employees are in there, they're being assigned to different ad accounts, pages, whatever. So it was just really, and we also used virtual machines for a while. So as a way to try to make backup accounts in case something happens to our main business, um, virtual machines, it just wasn't feasible. I wasn't able to really get it to work right.
Mhm.
Um, and then the work process was basically just hope and pray. I mean, hope and pray that Facebook doesn't ban you, or that, they don't ban your business. So then so once we moved to Multilogin, it's just, I mean, whenever we acquire an account, we load it into the profile, put the proxy in, make sure everybody's hardware is concurrent. So for example, we don't have any Mac users on our team. So,
Mhm.
because I think there's some issues with if you build a profile on Windows, you can't launch it on Mac because of some hardware thing. But yeah, just make sure everyone's hardware is somewhat concurrent and they can go into the account and use it as they need to.
Okay.
So
Can you also maybe remember what was like for you personally, what was like the main problem you wanted to solve with Multilogin?
I just wanted to mitigate the risk of the business, just mitigate the risk, because when your whole business is Facebook ads, you're at their mercy, and anything could happen. They could just take down your whole business. So in order to mitigate that risk, that's why I chose Multilogin. Spread out, we use different business managers and things. So if we launch an e-commerce site, actually last year we had an e-commerce brand selling UV sanitizing lights, and we were rolling good for about 3 months, and Facebook banned the business, and they just wouldn't give it back to us, and we lost a lot of money. So that was another time when I was like, oh, I need something to protect us.
Hmm.
Because if we had Multilogin, we could have just easily pivoted into another business manager and just, not had any issues.
Okay. And here I would like to ask you, like, where did you find out about us? Like, was it a friend, through research? How did you find out about
Yeah,
Multilogin?
it was actually through research. So I'm on Black Hat World, the forum,
Hmm.
and I had seen it being mentioned, and then one of my friends is a user, so I kind of just asked him, and he said it was really good. I
User
looked
of
at some of the
Multilogin, right?
other, yes,
Okay.
yeah, he's a user. Um, I looked at some other options, but yeah, I found out about it on Black Hat World. That's where I started reading about it.
Okay. And were there any doubts that almost maybe stopped you for buying Multilogin?
No, I don't know about doubts, because I actually watched some of the videos from your product owner
Hmm.
and some of your older tutorial videos, and then I watched. I don't know how I found this. Found some video where you guys like went on vacation or something and were like in the woods, but but I thought it was really cool that I just thought it was cool. I was like, okay, this is a real company. Um, so there wasn't anything that would have stopped me. I think the price potentially could have stopped some people, but in my mind, it was like, okay, this is this is obviously the gold standard in my mind. That's what I was thinking at the time,
Hmm.
because if it's that much more expensive than its next competitor, it has to be good. So
Yeah, you get what you pay for.
exactly.
So, and when was like the moment when you decided, okay, I need to improve, I need to grow, I need to do this investment? When did you decide to pull the trigger?
Basically, at the time when one of our business managers got disabled, our main business manager for our agency got disabled, and it was like, at that point, luckily I got it back. I repealed the ban, got it back. But that was the point where I was like, okay, I need to do something now. You just lose your whole business. If they for whatever reason, if their AI decides that you've done something wrong, even if you haven't, and you don't beat that appeal process, you're just done. I mean, so that's the point where I was like, okay, I need to spread out risk, not only for the agency side, but for the e-commerce, because we had bans in the past. So that was when I really made that decision, like, hey, okay, I really need to figure this out. Bought the software, started working on sourcing accounts, found a great vendor for that as well, and then also some of my own methods. But yeah, it was just worth the investment, because if you, I don't know, if you just wait for the problem to happen, you're going to be done. You're going to be sitting there for, a month or more while you sort this thing out. So it's just better if you have the items in place. For example, last week, last week, we have an ecom, my partner and I have an ecom venture that's doing 100K a month. It's a great product. It's been rolling strong for about 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Our page quality score on Facebook dropped because we had an issue with our vendor, and Facebook shut our ads off. So, for this brand, we were spending, I think, about $1,800 a day. No, no warning. They shut everything down. But I didn't feel that bad about it, because I'm like, okay, all I need to do is pop open this other profile, warm it up for a few days, and then I can just continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So just made
Yeah,
me feel good to have that in place.
that's good to hear. And also thank you for sharing this experience. And before we round up,
Yeah.
let's get into some numbers. I would like to know what's your ROI from using Multilogin. Maybe you can name like a ballpark number.
I mean, honestly, it's invaluable. So, I mean, if I had to think about ROI, it's more about just still existing, right? So, if I didn't have multi-login, I would have, it may just be impossible to exist, and I may have been already out of business on the Facebook ad side by now. But actual ROI numbers, since I have signed up and paid for multi-login, I must have at least almost doubled the amount of revenue that I was doing before. Of course, I have more expenses, but I mean, all so like almost seven figures is.
No.
Thanks.
Okay. Is there any like forecast of revenue or growth for the this year? Like, is there certain future goals you wish to accomplish by using Multilogin?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're scaling to the moon. I mean, we've got, just this week we have, we're launching one new ecom brand. I constantly have leads coming in for clients. So I mean, it's, as far as a goal, I'd love to be at over seven figures.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's definitely doable between actually, I know it's doable between e-commerce and the agency side. So, um, so yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, that's great, and I hope that Multilogin can play a big part in that as well.
Yeah,
So
well, it definitely is.
yeah, so I have only two questions left. Last questions. How likely are you to recommend Multilogin, and what is the reason someone should start using Multilogin in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm super likely to recommend it. I would always recommend multi-login. I think somebody asks me what to use, I say, multi-login, because it's the one that you should use. But um, yes, for somebody who's struggling with Facebook ads, there's a lot of people out there that are getting into e-commerce that aren't necessarily on the affiliate side. They're just on the e-com side. They're trying to do dropship e-com, or they own an agency and their business manager got shut down. Those are the people who need multi-login, because if you don't have that backup, you're just done. And if you go look at any forum, go on Black Hat World, look at the Facebook ads forum section. Every third post is like, my account got banned. If you go into like the ad leaks group on Facebook, if the people who advertise on Facebook will know what I'm talking about. But if you go into that group, I mean, every other post is, my account is restricted. What do I do? Oh no. Well, the way that you can prevent that, if you're making money already and you have some cash, buy Multilogin, set yourself up with backup profiles, just hire somebody to warm up your BMs, find a virtual credit card solution that works. I'm in the US, so I use privacy.com as well as Stripe issuing, but Amex has a great virtual card program. So my advice to anyone is to set this stuff up now, so you're not that guy that's on Reddit or ad leaks or Black Hat World, crying about your account being banned. All you have to do is just pivot into a new account. So.
Okay, that's pretty good sum up. And Adam, I would like to thank you for your feedback, all the information you provided, and we hope that everything you said and mentioned here will get to the people who are actually still searching for solutions to improve their businesses, and hopefully they will be a part of the team as you are right now. So thank you again, Adam, and I wish you all the best.
Hey, thanks, Tybo. I appreciate it. Take care.
Okay, bye.